What is up, my Lorcana goons? Welcome to the Lorcana Goons channel. My name is Kevin, and we're going to talk about some Lorcana stuff today. I have for you a top 8 deck list from the Deck and Dice 1K tournament. Consisted of 56 players, and there was a top 8 cut, and they played it out. So we're going to get on into this and go over these top 8 deck lists for you. But before I do that, I do want to say like, comment, and subscribe if you are a Lorcana goon, if you like Lorcana content, because it really does help support the channel out. But let's get on into this. First place was a Amethyst Steel deck list consisting of 4 of the following: Olaf, Mim Snake, Mim Fox. We got the Goat, Merlin Rabbit, 4 Sad Boy Beast, Giant Tinkerbell, Friends on the other side, Let the Storm Rage on. That's going to be all for the 4 ofs. Then we have 3 of the following: Prince Eric, Maleficent Sorceress, Tinkerbell Tiny Tactician, Yzma Scary Beyond Reason, Ursula, and that's going to be, and 3 Grab Your Swords. And for 2s in the deck, we have Strength of a Raging Fire, Smash, and Sorcerer's Spellbook. Okay. I'm liking Smash this format, even if it's just at 2. I think maybe you play 2 Smash, 2 Strength of a Raging Fire, but check it out. Amethyst Steel in the first place. It's not a Ruby Amethyst tier 0 meta, guys. That's what I've been trying to tell you. If you have some other decks that you want to test out yourself, I think they'll work. I definitely think they'll work. And congrats to Pasty Winkies for this first place Amethyst Steel deck list. Looking pretty cool. It's looking more like a more of a tempo mid-range kind of list. You're not using Whole New World to try and deck your opponent out or anything cheesy like that. You're really just trying to take control of the board constantly and generate some value with your shiftable Tink and whatnot. But second place beat out the first place beat out the Amethyst Steel. So second place we have John Collin with the Ruby Amethyst deck list right here. It's going to be playing 4 of the following: Olaf, Mini, Mim Snake, Mim Fox, Surfer Mini, Goat. We also have 4 Friends on the other side: Be Prepared, Teeth and Ambitions, Dragonfire, Maleficent Dragon, Yzma Scary Beyond Reason, and Maui Hero to All. And then we have 3 ofs in this deck: Merlin Rabbit and Lady Tremaine. And after that, the last 2 cards are going to be Peter Pan's Shadow. Okay. So another Ruby Amethyst deck. We know what this deck does. It starts off being very aggressive with Surfer Minis and the Mim package. Then you kind of get into some Peter Pan Shadow activity. But the fact that this deck starts off very aggressive and then goes into Maleficent Dragon, Be Prepared, is just kind of crazy. But my opinion, one of the best decks of the format, obviously. But once you learn to play around stuff like Tremaine, it does get a little bit easier to combat the matchup. But second place, Ruby Amethyst. See? It's not the best deck. It's not going to win every single tournament, but it will dominate a lot of the tournament, because third place we have right here another Ruby Amethyst. It's consisting of 4 of the following: Mini, Mim Snake, Mim Fox, Sorceress, Maleficent, Mini Surfer, Merlin Goat, Maleficent Dragon, Teeth and Ambitions, Friends on the other side, and Be Prepared at 4. For 3 ofs, we have Merlin Rabbit, Yzma, Befuddle, and Dragonfire. Okay, I'm seeing a lot more people play Dragonfire lately. And for 2 ofs, we have 2 Ursula, 2 Tremaine, 2 Sorcerer's Spellbook. And I think I'm seeing people play 2 of a lot lately is Ursula. I'm starting to see people cut the ratios for the minis and the Olaf, so we're not playing 4 and 4 anymore. It's kind of looking like you're playing less of them. And last, I'm seeing a lot of people play only 3 Rabbit. So small little meta trends right here. 3 Rabbit, sacrificing the extra draw power maybe for some more inkable cards. And Befuddle just seems to be kind of coming back into the meta, right? We have our 4th place. This is going to be a Popsicle deck. It's been a while since we've seen a Popsicle deck in like the top 8, let alone top 4, right? So Logan Johnson, if you shout out to you. If you guys are a Popsicle player, don't let it discourage you. Maybe take a little gander at this deck list, screenshot your viewer system right now so you can deck this and try it out locals. It's consisting of 4 of the following: Judy Hopps, Flavorsham, Tamatoa, Maleficent Dragon, Popsicle, and Be Prepared. Those are going to be the 4 ofs in this deck. And then we have 3 of the following: Queen of Hearts with Rush, Little Aladdin, Nikki Wild, aka Nikki Dubs, Maui, Lady Tremaine, that's the big one, Big Aladdin, 1 Jump Ahead, Fishbone Quill. That's going to be all for the 3 ofs. So we have 2 of the following: Hades, Infernal Schemer, Teeth and Ambitions, and Shield of Virtue. And last but not least, we carry 1 Eye of the Fates and only 1 Dragonfire. I'm not a fan of 1 ofs in Lorcana, especially in a deck like this. This is one of the slower decks of the format, and I don't really see the point in only playing 1 Eye of the Fates, How often do you see it? How often does that get you where you need to be? I think Eye of the Fates is a good card. I think it kind of combats the aggressiveness that cards like Spellbook have against this deck, but is one really worth it? Maybe the second Dragonfire. Oh, and two, Let It Go. Forgot to mention that. So interesting ratios for the current way you play Popsicle. You kind of have to adhere to the early game by playing Queen of Hearts Rush, a last shiftable Aladdin, so that you don't get like outpaced by the Merlin Min package, and you have to be able to put pressure on the board and threaten stuff like shifting Aladdin into Aladdin, right? Which is always a good play, even in this new format. Shifting Aladdin is awesome. But fifth place, we have a Lemon Lime Aggro. This is pretty cool. Hard Lemon Lime hand control, not even aggro, but hand control. I guess it's aggressive, right? But it consists of 4 of the following Queen Goons, 1 Ink Flynn Rider, Simba Protective Cub, 2 Ink Flynn Rider, Prince John, Rapunzel at 4, Daisy Duck, Flynn Rider, his own biggest fan, the Queen, Commanding Presence, Pete, the bad guy, Hypnotize, You Have Forgotten Me, Sudden Chill, all of those at 4. And then we have 3 of the following, Grand Duke and the Mickey Mouse, the 3 Ink Mickey Mouse at 3. It's a 3/4 stat line, pretty good card. And then we have a 2 of the following, Mother Knows Best. Okay, this card, hand control with an amber combination. I feel like we've seen a version of this before. Obviously we have, because people really like combining You Have Forgotten Me with Prince John, which is a pretty good combo, right? Obviously, discarding 2 cards from your opponent's hand and drawing 2 cards after that is just really good no matter what matchup you're playing against, right? Not the end all be all of the format. I believe this Mark Miller, this guy, got first place after Swiss. So there was a standings after Swiss, and then there was a top cut standing. So first place after Swiss with a Lemon Lime aggro deck. I think you guys should consider this a relevant deck in the meta. I think maybe if you're playing a discard engine, maybe you should consider playing it with some amber cards. Try it out. Rapunzel's so good, especially in decks like this where you're playing high willpower characters like Simba, the Mickey Mouse, the Flynn Rider that has 3 willpower. You know what I mean? Pete has 4 willpower. So being able to heal back up your characters in this deck probably means a lot, right? But we'll go on to the next list. This is going to be the 6th place list. It's a Sapphire Steel. Wow, very diverse top 8 meta here. This deck consisting of 4 of the following: Belle, Strange but Special, Shiftable Cogsworth, Sad Boy Beast, Tinkerbell Giant Fairy, Hades Infernal Schemer, Whole New World, 4 Popsicle, and 4 Fishbone Quill. Then we have 3 of the following: Cinderella Knight in Training, Prince Eric. We also have Flavor Sham at 3. Interesting. Cinderella, Stout Hearted, Smash, and Grab Your Swords. There's the Smash again. I think Smash is good in the meta. I'm just saying. Then we have 2 of the following: Judy Hopps, Mickey Mouse Detective, Benja, Let It Go at 2, Fire the Cannons, and that's going to be all for the deck to round it off. I noticed we're not playing the 2 Ink Cogsworth. We're only playing 5-drop Cogsworth. Now I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's just important to go Mickey Mouse Detective into a turn 5 Cogsworth, or if it's just something you want to do in general. Maybe you don't need the shift ability. Is resist very important? Maybe his ward. If you guys have any opinions, leave them in the comments below. And if you are Ryan, please let me know your opinion on this deck list. I like Whole New World in a deck like this. Personally though, I really like that they're playing Smash and Fire the Cannons instead of cards like Let the Storm Rage On and Strength of the Raging Fire, which are very good cards, but they're just a lot better when you're playing them with the Cinderella Ballroom Sensation. Outside of that, it's a little harder to justify, depending on the deck you're playing. Fire the Cannons is a faster version of Let the Storm Rage On that does not draw you a card, but can eliminate turn 1 threats on your turn 1. And Smash is just good because it gets rid of Arthur. When they set up their Arthur plays, if you have a Smash in your hand, you smash the Arthur and their whole setup is gone, right? Smash is really good because it gets rid of Arthur, the goat, the rabbit, the snake, and literally any character on the opposing Amethyst field is gonna probably get outed by Smash. It's a really good card. Next we have 7th place. This is going to be Amber Steel with Sleepy's Flu. Now we've seen this deck before playing Sleepy's Flute, really taking advantage of the fact that you can stack them. If you have 2 Sleepy's Flutes on board and you activate one song, you can gain 2 lore by tapping both Sleepy's Flutes, which is kind of crazy. This deck's consisting of 4 Cinderella Ballroom Sensation, Stitch New Dog, Queen Goons, Simba Protective Cub, Ariel, Queen Commanding Presence, Rockstar Stitch, Cinderella Stout-Hearted, Let the Storm Rage On, Whole New World, and Sleepy's Flute at 4. Those are all the 4 ofs, and we have 3 of the following: Grab Your Swords, Strength of a Raging Fire. That's going to be all for the 3 ofs, and we have 2 of the following: Benja, Be Our Guest, World's Greatest Criminal Mind, Giant Tinkerbell, and Cinderella Knight in Training. Okay. Pretty consistent deck, as you guys can tell. A lot of 4 ofs in this deck, only a couple 2 ofs, not a single card you're playing 1 of, because it just doesn't make sense, right? I love a consistent deck like this, really taking advantage of the fact that you want to resolve Sleepy's Flute by being able to use cards like Be Our Guest, or that don't really have these specific conditions of needing characters to damage, right? You could just play Be Our Guest and then get a character, and if you have the Sleepy's Flutes on board already, you gain the lore, which is always nice. And last but not least, we have another Ruby Amethyst deck. Now, this deck is still tier 1. It's the most represented for sure in all the tournaments, but it's not winning all the tournaments, and as you can tell, it's not even taking up all of the highest spaces in the local meta scene. On the Pixelborn scene, yeah, it kind of is, but on this scene, it's a little different. So it has 4 of the following: Pascal, Mim Snake, LeFou, Arthur, Mim Fox, Maleficent Sorceress, Mini Surfer, Merlin Goat, Merlin Rabbit, Lady Tremaine, Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, Friends on the Other Side, and Be Prepared. All of those at 4. And then we have only 2 of the following cards. We're playing Merlin Crab, Dragonfire, Olaf, and Maui, Hero to All. Interesting that there's not 4 Mauis. I thought 4 Maui was kind of a staple in a Ruby, but I guess not. You guys tell me what you think of this, but this is a much more aggressive version of Ruby Amethyst than we've seen in the other lists, playing cards like Pascal, LeFou, Arthur. And I think that if you're a player that wants to get into the competitive scene and you really like Lorcana like that, you should pay attention to these minute differences in deck lists. Because when you're shuffling your deck and you're playing against your opponent and whatnot, if you're playing against Ruby Amethyst and you start seeing them set up Arthurs, LeFou, Pascal, you can kind of assume they're playing a more aggressive engine, and they probably won't be playing a lot more of the control game cards like we've seen before, like Aladdin Shiftable or Yzma Scary Beyond Reason or stuff like that. And this list is playing for Tremaine. I feel like in some decks you can play around Tremaine by setting up multiple characters before their turn 6, and once you start doing that, it makes their Tremaine look really, really bad. You know, that's another thing to notice about these Ruby Amethyst lists. But that is going to be all for the top 8 breakdown from this Deck and Dice 1K tournament. 56 players, and they played out top 8 afterward, and first place wasn't Ruby Amethyst. Now, there were 3 Ruby Amethysts in the top 8, with the other list being a variety of colors, but even the Ruby Amethyst decks in the top 8 all look different. One of them is playing Ursula, one of them is playing Spellbook with Dragonfire, the other one's not playing Spellbook at all, you know, so there are some nuanced differences in the meta, and it's always good to see decks that aren't the tier 0, tier 1 deck get first place like this Amethyst Steel list that was in first, right? But remember to stay tuned to Lorcana Goons if you like this content, and if you want to see more, like, comment, and subscribe, and join our Discord, because it means a lot and it really does help support the channel. But until then, we will see you goons next time, and I really hope you enjoy your week.